welcome to my fake YouTube studio. I'm sure my kids are going to give me a whole lot of grief for doing this, but I thought it was quite amusing. So this is the intro for Donington Clubman Race 2. Now, if you're wondering why it's Race 2 and not Race 1, that is because there was a particularly interesting incident that took place in Race 1, and I'm currently collating the footage from many different sources so we can put it together into one cool scene. Okay, let's get to the action. Okay, pretty good start. We've just slipped past Tom there, who looks like he must have missed the gear because he slowed down quite a lot. And now we're right up behind fellow YouTube star, Radical Underdogs. So we're just going to try and latch onto him through turn 1 and get through cleanly, but then Bo and I come together. It looks like our front wheels must have hit each other because the force completely threw my hands at the steering wheel. There was absolutely nothing I could do. But we're away. We're still going. We've lost, annoyingly, at least 3-4 places maybe. Certainly more places than we wanted to drop on the opening lap. Okay, I've gone a little on the inside there, but it's a bit too slippery, so that hasn't worked. Lost a bit of ground to the guys in front. But like I remember at the time now, feeling pretty annoyed, and I think I actually drive a little bit better when I'm feeling a little more angry and aggressive. But let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can catch up with the guys in front. Now, someone's down the inside, and there's also a third car joining the party, who is Mr. Jamie Turner. And going up through here 2-3 wide is a little bit risky, but we get away with it fairly clean. Okay, so drop the car behind, which is good, and now we can just latch onto Jamie's bumper and follow his slipstream. He's usually pretty quick, so I don't actually mind having him in front. Okay, now in the background you can see Simon Privet just took 3 cars at once into the chicane, which was an insane move. Great for him, but also great for me because I've got completely clean air behind me at the moment, so that makes life a little easier. Okay, so now I'm going to try and settle in, make sure we stick to the dry line. Some parts of the track are still damp, but stick to the dry line and see if we can just latch on to Jamie. Okay, so we get a pretty good run. I think Jamie's car might be suffering a little bit due to the incident that happened in race 1, so we're catching him fairly easy on the straight. So we go for a move, but unfortunately I can't find the gear straight away, so I can't make that stick. But it's okay, we'll just slip back behind him and use his toe all the way down the corner curves. It's pretty much flat now. There was some dirt kicked up on the inside at some point, making it a little more tricky, and slight damp, but pretty much flat. And that was pretty shocking. I just did not commit to the old hairpin. Look at the distance that he's pulled on me. So we fast forward a little bit, caught up to the pack in front. Bit of an incident in front. Russell, Halley and a couple of others. All I see is a couple of freebies. Tried the bump draft there, but to be honest, I didn't expect them to be going as slow as they were. So it was a fairly hefty whack, that one. Decided to get down the inside and get this move done. Again, still a little bit slippery on the inside, got to be a little bit careful trying to hook up the apex, but that's good. We managed to get past the white car, and now I'm back on the tail with Jamie. The car was starting to come alive at this point actually, and I had some good top end. Circuit was just getting drier and drier, 99% dry now, starting to carry some speed through the old hairpin, pushing the track limits a bit more as well. And as you can see here, I'm just starting to pick up their slipstream and gaining all the way up the hill. Closer and closer. You can see Jamie's now latched onto Tom in front. I'm struggling with a gearbox. What was that? 3, 4, 5 times to get it in gear, and all that effort, all that time gained coming up the hill from the old hairpin lost. As you know from Silverstone, if you watched that video, the gearbox has been a bit of a problem. The team have been great, they've been changing them, but unfortunately I'm still struggling with the shifter. So more work to be done there. But still, see the car's pulling really well. It's helping me pull back into the guys in front, slammed it into third there, launched it again right across those curbs. Great run on Jamie. Okay, need to get this one done. Let's get down the inside. You can see a different colour in the circuit there where it's still a bit wet. I've got it a little bit crossed up, a little bit messy, but we're through. Jamie's given me plenty of space, which is great news. Okay, so that's Jamie behind now. Looks like he's slipping back quite quick actually. So it's Tom in front. Let's get after him. Okay, get a pretty good exit. A little bit of wheel spin from a diff on the exit, but that's okay. Looking back over my lap times, this is where the times started to come. This is where we were comfortably in the 157s, the 156s, and great for me is I actually saw some 155 optimals, which is incredibly faster than I've ever been. There's still a lot more to come from the car, from me, but yeah, I was super happy to now start banging in some fast lap times. Okay, got a pretty good run down the hill. No, I need to take a bit more curb on the inside, push track limits a bit. Not too bad, could have run a bit more, but there is a sensor out there, so you've got to be careful. But here you go, once again, absolutely great run in the slipstream. Tom's gone on the inside, I'm going to follow Tom down the inside, give him a bit of a whack, again a bit harder than I expected, another nudge just to push him through. I think we're both going to get through there. So gave Tom a little nudge that he needed. I think he broke a little bit earlier, but hey, he's through. I've managed to hold it as well. It took me another lap or so to fully catch up with Tom, but now I'm firmly in his slipstream, struggling a bit with the gearbox there, but we managed to get it in gear again. Found third, which is good. Got a good run. Again, I think this was one of the faster laps that I managed to do. We've got Simon Waterfall in front. I think he may have gone out on a bit of a wet setup, as he's not usually that easy to get past, but we're both down the inside of him. And now we're starting to put Tom under a little bit of pressure. Tom is a great lad. He's one of the mechanics and drivers from NHA, and we certainly had a good laugh and a hug after what you're about to see. So we are pushing him along, putting him under pressure. We have a little look down the inside. I managed to find third, which is good. Give each other loads of room, maybe a bit too much. I get a little bit of a slide on there, which compromises my exit. But here we go, down the Craner curves, flat out. It feels quite crazy when you're in the car. Seeing it from outside doesn't look quite as spectacular, but I've given him space. I've hooked up the exit, he hasn't, and he's in the gravel, he's bouncing around. He was to go on to tell me that his feet completely came off the floor in the car as he was bouncing over that. So lucky for us, Cars Are Racing YouTube channel managed to catch us going side by side down the Craners, and then obviously Tom doing his spectacular car jumping moment. I only saw the small lift of the car from the outside. I didn't see him hit the second bump where all four wheels were clearly off the ground. What a spectacular moment. So check out my BRSCC first hat. I've always been very jealous of seeing the people with these on the podium. So I now get my very own. And I also get this pretty stunning trophy. Now, I inherited these due to a disqualification within the Masters Championship. Clearly, I would have preferred to have won them on the road. However, you know what? I'll take it.